very much, Jay. Jay is an EMT. How long have you been an EMT?
30 years.
30 years. Today we are lucky enough to have him for a little bit of our time, so we can answer our questions. Jay, would you like to start?
So, what kind of training did you do to become an EMT?
There's 120. There was when I took the class about 120-hour class work for about 3 months, a couple nights a week, a couple of weekends, and then first do CPR class. It's about a 4-hour class.
So, what exactly did you do in those classes?
Learned how to help stop bleeding, open people's airway, make sure they're breathing. If they're not breathing, how to help them breathe.
So the training was very hands-on and involving.
Oh, very hands-on. The whole, yeah. Learned how to splint people, take care of back injuries, spine injuries, lots of different things. Deliver babies, whole variety of topics.
So, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your involvement in the First Aid and Rescue Squad?
Just being out, being able to help people. Sometimes I run into some patients who I've run into have a lot of patients over the years I've been here, and every once in a while I'll see one in the grocery store or out on the street, and they'll stop and talk to me and thank me for what I've done, and so make a big impact on people's lives.
So you get to feel confident that know that you've made a difference.
Absolutely, it's a rewarding experience. Help save somebody's life.
That's wonderful. How did you get involved in this program?
Well, when I was a kid, there was a show on called Emergency, and I was glued to the television every night that came on. So I thought that was pretty cool stuff. And as a Boy Scout, I was involved in help, some of the training that we get, some first aid training, and I really enjoyed it. And so my dad saw a first aid class at one of the hospitals, and I went for it, and eventually here I am.
What advice would you give to someone who's considering becoming an EMT?
I guess it's got to be in your soul. Because if it's something that you don't really want to do, that you're like, well, maybe I'd like to give it a shot. And I guess I've always wanted to do it, but I guess some people, maybe they haven't. But they need to go someplace to be able to try it. The nice thing with this squad is before you join, you can run a couple of shifts to see if you like it. If they can find a place to do that, that would be great. Or maybe even volunteer in a hospital someplace, see if they like it. Because sometimes, when you get out there and you're in a situation, you find out, after you've done all the training and stuff, I don't like that. It's not the best time to find out you didn't do it. Shouldn't be doing it.
So they should just be sure ahead of time that they want to do this.
They should have, if they're not sure, they should have a real good idea.
So what has been the sort of the high point of your career on the squad?
Oh boy. High point. I would say being able to train a lot of people. And people coming back and that have moved on, and they come back and they say, hey, you taught me this, or you taught me that, and I'll never forget this. So that's reward. That's one of the high points, being able to take what I know and what I've learned and give it to somebody else.
So how has your involvement in this program affected your outlook on life?
Well, I have been able to stay calm in certain situations. And it's not even a medical problem. It could be a debate or a behavioral issue with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned some patience and different ways to approach things, and those types of things. I think that has helped.
So your ability to maintain your composure.
Yeah,
And
maintain composure, sense of calm.
Mm-hmm.
In behavioral issues like I'm a Boy Scout leader,
Mm-hmm.
and so sometimes being able just to stop and listen to everything that's going on and help make decisions and stuff like that. That's helped.
So have you ever had to use these skills that you got outside of being an EMT, like just day-to-day life?
Yes. Yes. Kid with a broken arm. My son's baseball practice. One of the kids was in a school playground. He fell off one of the monkey bars and broke his arm. I was there to help him until the ambulance got there. Little kid choking even in the lobby of one of the local hospitals. So
you're never off duty.
Well, no, not really. Something comes your way. It's you should deal with it. You know what I mean?
You know how to react.
You know how to react. Yeah, and you react, and afterwards you're like, wait a minute, how did that happen? And it's so much training over the years. It's drilled into you that you don't even think about what you're doing. You just do it. And the woman that had her kid choking. She's like, how did you know how to do that? I was like, oh yeah. By the way, I'm an EMT, and that's how I know how to do that. The kid was in trouble. He needed help, so I just reacted.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any moments that you would like to have a second shot at, or something you'd like to do over?
Well, that is kind of a good question, because not every outcome is a positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
There are some times where people die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and in those instances, sometimes people have, well, why did they die? Was it because of something you did, or was it something that a higher being has done? And we always go back and look over what transpired on a call,
Mm-hmm.
and what we could have done differently, to what was the outcome, and what we did, what could we have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
We always have self-evaluate things.
Yeah.
And there are probably times in my career that I've wished I had done something a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, it's not up to me. If a person lives or dies, it's not up to me. It's like like a baby. If a baby dies, it's like we work as hard as we can,
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately, if the man upstairs is taking the person, they're taking the person.
Yeah.
So it's definitely you always go back and self-evaluate what's happened.
That's all I've got. James, do you?
I think that's all right.
All right.
Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time today.
You're
We
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.